Good day, ladies and gents. Welcome to the Fairway Fit Golf Podcast, where two friends get together to talk about how we are trying to look good, feel good, and play good. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fairway Golf Podcast. As you could tell, I still got Greg on vacation. Greg, how's vacation? No, I know you're coming to an end.
It is. I'm traveling home tomorrow, so I'll get to sleep in my own bed. I did move out of the Big Daddy garage. I didn't want him over my shoulder again for another episode. So I'm in Mom's office now. But it'll be
Looks
nice.
like a nice
to get
little
home.
setup you got going on there.
Yeah, I mean it's solid.
There you go. Better than the garage, I guess. A little better echo in
It's
there.
also hot as hell down here. So like basically
Oh, man.
being out in the garage and the humidity, I didn't want to be like wiping my face throughout the entire podcast.
Yeah. Now, if people have been following along, hopefully you have been, please make sure you like, share, drop us a comment. But we kind of took last week off, and we are getting back into it, a little bit of a vacation. Mine was more of a staycation with everything I got going on. We're not doing much traveling. Took the kids down to an amusement park down at Busch Gardens. That was a lot of fun. I am a lot older than I was.
Did you ride the Big Bad Wolf?
Oh, yeah, the new one. It's brand new. Just opened in May.
Okay.
Just opened in May. Rode a lot of them. Obviously, the wife's a little out of commission. She's usually the roller coaster rider, and I like to kind of pick and choose, and I kind of was up to the task.
You're not an upside down guy, are you?
You know me, the motion sickness kind of kicks in. Usually I can last about, the 65 to 70-second ride. I'm not too bad, but only one of them really got to me a little bit. But sure enough, we rode pretty much all of them. All of them that went forwards. I wasn't really big on the ones that went forward and backwards. I was wasn't a big into that.
You're a guy that likes to look where he's going.
Yeah, I like to know what's going on. So, and then the only one that really got us, we went, I don't even remember what it was called, but we went to the one that kind of paused right as you were going down, and you're a little elevated on your seats.
Yeah.
It's like 3 rows instead of like the long train. We went to look at it, and the younger ones kind of really quickly opted out, and I was kind of like, oh, that's good. That's not going to hurt my feelings. and then all of a sudden, my 13-year-old goes, I want to go. I'm like, are you sure you want to do this? Is this like, yeah, I want to be able to tell my friends I did it. And I said, you know what? All right, all these other people are getting off safe, so let's go ahead and just knock it out. And yeah, I mean, we were both kind of white knuckled until we got down that first hill, and then it was a smooth ride afterwards.
That's one I haven't ridden in the last 2 years, because we always go down there for like the Christmas festival. That's when we usually stay in Kingsmill and stuff.
Yeah.
But that one is, and I'm glad I'm telling you this now, that one has always been out of commission every time we've been there.
Oh boy,
it's always been broken.
Oh boy. Yeah. So we walked in, and Loch Ness is right there. Now Loch Ness is one that's been around for a while. I remember being middle school, high school, and going with my mom, and like I still could probably look at my leg and her nails that were digging into my leg going down. And she never rode rides, and so that was a big one. So obviously telling the kids, they were all, oh, we're doing them all, no problem. And we got on there, and I thought the little guy was was frozen in place. I was glad he got off the tracks, because it got him a little bit, and then but he shook it off. He was able to get on a couple more later on, but it took us a little while to get our feet grounded. And I'll tell you what, all day of that, it beat your body up a little bit. I mean, shaking around
a little bit,
yeah. I mean, it was a lot. So it was a long day. Ended up playing a golf tournament the next day. Played really well, so not too bad. But
me and Schwartzy, when we went to good old Hershey Park on the senior trip this year, it was great. Paid day off to go ride roller coasters with kids all day. We were the guys that, as the kids went in for free, obviously, and we got in for free as well, being chaperones. But we decided to go by the fast pass, and we just rode every single roller coaster like 2 and 3 times each, front row, back row, whatever we wanted. And I will say, on the bus ride home, I was a little like passing out, because it had been a day. I mean, it had been a long day.
Yeah. I mean, so we didn't have fast pass, but we happened to choose one of the hottest days of the month. It was the feels like of 112. during the day, so it was empty. I mean, if we waited 8 to 9 minutes, that was a long wait on every
Solid.
ride.
That's a
Yeah, I
solid
mean,
day at the park.
we could easily, and that was because we were choosing to either sit in the front or like exactly where we wanted. Otherwise, it was pretty much if we wanted to get off and walk around and get right back on, we could have easily have done that. So we definitely chose a good day. And Busch Gardens was pretty shaded too. So
Yeah, lots of
as
trees.
hot as it was, it never felt like, Hershey has that one area where the water stuff is, where you
Yeah.
are just baking in the sun. And Hershey doesn't have that water park feature. So a lot of stuff was covered with trees and had some good shade. So the wife kind of hung around and kind of sat for a while and was like, all right, we'll be back. Hopefully I come back. But we ended up making it. So we haven't done too much. That's kind of been one of the
No
highlights.
barf bags on the way home, I take it.
No, 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 we were good. All,
Yes.
all of us were hanging in there. They were out before we were out of the parking lot. They were so
Sounds about
tired. I
right.
mean, we got about 30,000 steps that day, so that was pretty solid. But we were back. I mean, as the summer's winding down, Greg and I have been competing in the summer season.
I don't know if
The
you want to call it
contest where it's
competing and playing against each other, but
well, it's a 10-week contest. We have 2 weeks to talk about. We're going to talk about week 6 and week 7. For those who have been following along, the points double now that we're in the back half. What we're doing is we're taking the first round of the week, and no matter where it is, we're taking the first round of the week that we get to play in. If it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever we're playing, and we compete against ourselves. Although we're not playing together, we'll take our overall score and drop it to the net score and see who's going to win head to head. Got a couple bonus points that we can do if we hit our goals. Still waiting to get that hole in one bonus.
I think
I think
that's
that's
my
going to be
only
key.
chance right now in order to try and make this close.
We'll get there because we do have some Hail Marys and some blind Hail Marys that we can talk about later. But let's go ahead and talk about week 6. So obviously week 6 was just over probably about a week and a half ago. I'm not sure I remember all that much from the round. I did go back and get my numbers, and let me run through my numbers real quick. I'm not going to stay too long on this. I went 41-40 for the front and the back. If I remember right, I did not hit a lot of greens. My green percentages was only 39%. So if I do the math there, that's like 6, maybe 7 greens. And for me, that's a little bit on the low side. I found if I hit greens, I can usually stay definitely in the 70s. Fairways right at 57%, which honestly, that's not bad. Like if I could be 57 to 60, whatever that percentage is, what's that, about 8 or 9 fairways around? That I would take that in a heartbeat.
Probably shove my mom down the stairs to have 5 or 8 fairways in a row
uh,
right now.
ended up with 31 putts, and then I had 3 penalty shots. I have a couple holes that I'm able to save some bogeys, and you'll hear me talk about it again later on. I'm able to save some bogeys even though I'm putting my second shot out of play, and I'm plus a par 5. So 3 penalty shots there. Ended up with an 81 overall. So what'd you have? And where were you? Where'd you play this one?
I played this one down in Florida. We were staying down on Amelia Island, and there was Fernandina Beach Golf Club right down the street from us. It was about a quarter mile up the road from the house that we were staying at. Um, awesome course. They have 2 18 or no, they have 3 9-hole courses there.
Okay.
I thought they had 4 just because they had west, south, and north, but I was expecting to see an east, and I didn't see an east. But
East was the ocean. East was
yeah,
in the
I'm
ocean.
guessing. Yeah, it was in the ocean. But played with 2 awesome guys. This was the round where I will say this: like as many times as you see posts and stories and memes of like the guy you don't want to be paired up with at a golf course, like I luck out when it comes to me going traveling and playing by myself. Like I usually get paired up with the best people when possible. I played with like Brad 2.0 basically.
Uh-oh.
This guy was a big time pitcher in high school, went to
Okay.
college and had a couple years in the minors. And he was on YouTube. He said since then the video has been not taken down, but his very first pitch in the major league, He dislocated his elbow,
Oh,
looked down at it, and passed out on the mound. And he goes, and that was the end of my career, basically. Um,
oh my
and
gosh.
so he said he did throw one pitch in the major leagues. Since then, he's a business guy now. He works for a company that actually deals with a lot of different companies as far as like payment systems and stuff like that. And he's golfer just like you, like, steady Eddie, has an errant shot here and there, but it recovers well. And he was, I still think you would beat him, but
Oh boy.
no offense. I won't
Uh-oh.
drop names. I
All
won't
right.
drop
All
names.
right.
He's from Georgia. He's from Georgia, and he was an awesome guy. Cracked beers at 8:30 in the morning with me, and
There we go.
and we teed off at 7:30, and we're done by 11:30, I think, and on the beach with the kids type thing later on.
There you go.
But awesome guy. Another guy was a businessman. He was down there with his family as well. Steady Eddie.
Did they know each other?
No, all three of us
Okay,
were
three
all three
randoms.
of us were singles, and
I
literally
love
they
it.
gave us three carts, so we flew. Um,
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
and we had a good old time the entire time. Everybody was playing music, everybody was having beers. It was good to go.
Cool.
But I did not play super well. I shot. I'm just gonna go off and say I shot a 96. I went 47, 49. As as good as I would play for 3 hole spans, I would play bad for 5 hole spans after that. Um, had 13 putts on the front, so I had 4 1 putts, no 5 1 putts, um, and then 17 putts on the back, so a total of 30. I was 21% driving as far as fairways, and 11% greens with
Ooh,
penalties. Now this was another one of those courses that was tight. It's not like I was losing balls every time, but tee shots were right outside the white stakes. I was having to pull them back in.
gotcha.
There was houses along this course a lot, so basically, you couldn't spray the ball much off the fairway type stuff.
Okay.
It wasn't a spray and fine type course. Um,
Not a
you know,
not a resort type course that has the big
yeah,
fairways.
yeah, big
It was
fairways
more
and
of a
small greens. Now it was more so. It was
more of a
actually
more of a player's course.
it was real. It was a fun course. Like I would love to go back and play it again because I almost wanted to go play again later on, but with getting sick for a day and at least having to get
Right.
stitches and stuff, it just didn't work out. So shot 96, was playing at a 16 there. Um, Shot net 80. So we played
Okay.
the I think we played the Blues, which tipped out at about 65 something,
That's
6,500
I mean, and
yards.
65 with a tight course. That's not easy. I mean, that's going to definitely keep you. Got to keep the ball in play. And obviously, the penalties took you a little bit there. But so, all right. So 96 net 80. I was 81, and it had me playing at a 6, so it was a net 75. So very quickly been able to keep my little bit of a run here. I had me going into the week because I had a really good week the one before, where I was able to hit a couple bonuses and check some boxes. I was able to improve. That was 8-1, so this would take me with the 2 points. I've been sitting at 10-1 with our point system after week 6. All right, and most people already know I played Stone Leap because we're still in town. And if I don't really want to go anywhere local to pay, since I've already paid enough to be at this one, so um, we all know about that course already. So all right, so week 7, all right. Week 7 was this week. I was able to get mine done on Monday. You played earlier today. Actually, in the afternoon. You played early in the afternoon today. And after my round, before we get into any numbers, I was confident enough and I threw out a Hail Mary. If those remember a couple weeks ago, I threw out a Hail Mary. What that means is that is doubling the points. So instead of playing for 2 points, we are now playing for 4 points. There is actually an option to blind Hail Mary, and that is obviously you're tripling the points, but you're doing it before you even play your round. Been playing pretty solid, so I was it crossed my mind to do a blind Hail Mary, but being Monday,
Would
did
have been
not play it or do anything on Sunday,
would have
which
been
is hard for
smart
me.
right now. And you're tell you the truth, you could blind Hail Mary and shoot a 90, and I might still lose.
Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, so I did throw out a Hail Mary, but since I started last time, go ahead and start with your round today.
My round today, I went back to Compass Point, played with Salah. Uh, he's a member there that invited me back out to play. I do not know why, because as you know, I played with him for 9 holes earlier in my trip and blew up. I think I shot like a I don't know, like a 49 or something on the front, maybe a 50. And that was the round where I told you I was just going to play for fun.
Mhm.
um, but he brought me back out. We decided to play the blues again, which once again, kind of about 6,500, a little over 6,500 yards, 6,540 or something like that. Um, it was cart path only, and course is wet from an earlier morning rainstorm. But I actually, what sucked was the range was closed, so I just chipped and putted for about 45 minutes before I went out, so I didn't really get any full swings in. Um, but felt really good today, and I actually, kind of had a different mindset as I texted you before because I did peep at your score. Um, and I was like, okay, like let me play bogey golf today. If I can play bogey golf today, I'm giving myself a chance. Um, and you know, I try and play bogey golf. Maybe I sneak in a couple pars, and I can try and stop this whole streak of me getting my butt kicked. Um, but didn't work out that way. Shot a 48 on the front, 17 putts, 2 for 7 fairways, 22% greens. Shot a astronomical bad 53 on the back, 19 putts, 2 for 7 fairways, 22% greens. Um, Total of 7 penalties. Once again, I
Okay.
think I only lost 2 balls, but once again, I was right outside,
Just out.
right outside white stakes on a couple where, like, even like I almost brought out like the string to see if I could attach 2 poles together and see if I was still in, but just eyeballing it, I was like, I think I'm out.
Gotcha.
So, um, sucked in that aspect. I had a total of 13 penalties because of that. Um,
Still 7 on the one, 6 on the other.
Seven
Oh
on
boy.
the yeah, so it was bad.
There's a lot of water on Couples Point too. So I mean
The
that's
thing is I like I said, I only lost 2 balls.
okay. Well,
2 balls in the water, and one was a second shot that like I just basically overcooked a draw that went overdrew the green and went in the pond and
right.
behind it. Um, but basically, a lot of it was just, unplayable ball, like, or I was just outside the white stakes. It's a tight course. As big as the fairways are, still, if you spray it out outside the fairway, you're going to be in trouble. Um, but shot a 101, net
Right.
83.
Yeah, but we talked a little bit before we got on here, and I mean, obviously, it sounds like a couple things are going in the right direction. I think you need, and I went through this as well too. I think you need some fun rounds where you don't have to stress that every shot is like a difference maker. And not to say the Hail Mary puts that on you, but it is a little bit in the back of your head. I mean, obviously, that's
Oh
why
yeah.
we play the game, but every round you're playing right now is a scoring round.
Oh,
And last week, you know, a, I was in a group of guys and we played a shamble on this past Saturday. And obviously, with a shamble, everybody hits a tee ball and then you play in. Well, we and another one of the buddies in there, Brian, friend of the show, is going to Fairway Fit Cup with us. We practiced a couple of days before that and some 9 holes and some different things. And I'll be honest with you, just took so much pressure off. And I even told him, I was like, this was awesome because I needed some fun rounds, like some just go out there and have a good time type round where you didn't have to worry about that I was putting up a score. Now, this tournament played us from the blues. So, and the reason I'm saying that, so as I was walking up to my round on Monday, I actually, I've been playing the tips, the golds, majority of the time, and I usually play the combos. And, I played pretty well in the shamble. I mean, I ended up obviously not my ball, but shooting a 68. I think that made me a net like 64. I think. Well, no, it gave me 2 shots. So, because it was a net 66. So, obviously it wasn't my ball, and I usually tend to hit third or fourth because it's like, hey, try to clear the creek or try to do this or whatnot. So I'm not saying it was on my tee ball, but I hit the ball pretty well. Made ended up making 6 birdies. I mean, obviously you don't make birdies on tee balls, you make birdies on approach shots and putts. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to play the blues today. I was like, it's going to hurt me a little bit in my net and in my handicap differential, but I was like, because normally the tips give me that couple extra. But I was like, I'm going to play the blues. Keep the ball in front of me, see how I can do. And yeah, I mean, there's a reason I said Hail Mary afterwards. I thought for the first about 7 holes, I could have been on tour. I think I hit, if I missed the fairway is because like on one, I don't even try to hit the fairway. I started out with 5 pars, had 2 or 3 good birdie looks. And then I went on, 4 pars, 5, 6, and 7. I went birdie, birdie, birdie. So after 7 holes, I'm sitting 3 under. And then my mind starts going, all right, how do I tell Greg I shot the 60s? and then I have to be like, dude, you're only on the 7th hole. Like, but I'm hitting the ball where I wanted it to. And if I was missing, I was missing on the right side. So through 7 holes, perfect in greens. And that was huge. And I'm hitting it fairly close. I'm 1 and 2, had good birdie looks, just kind of burnt the edge a little bit. 8 humbled me. All right. Tough hole. I did hit the green, ended up 3 putting. But I'm like, man, I'm 3 putting and I'm still I'm still 2 under. I'm like, dude, I'm rolling. No big deal. I was like, I can get this back. 9, I ended up hitting a pretty kind of wayward iron off the tee because we're playing up again. And, but ended up hitting a good wedge to the green, 2 putting. So I make the turn at 2 under. And, again, my mind's like, all right, I got some holes I can make some strokes up and do this. And then I'm going to shoot 68, 69. I'm going to do it. I'm going to tell Greg we need to get on the mics right away. I'm like, how am I going to do this? 10, I missed my first green, got up and down. Actually was short of the wall on 10 and got up and down. I'm still rolling 11, easy par, 12, make a good par, 13 par, 14 par. And then 15, I'm like, oh my gosh, I made it through my tough stretch. I'm still 2 under going into 15. Now 15 is the little zigzag par 5. Obviously can't hit driver because we're up. So I tried to hook a hybrid, get it a little close. It's great. I hit a beauty. Did exactly what I wanted to do with the ball. Sitting A1. I'm like 1 pins back. So I'm like 190 and to the back pin. Got to cover water, got to cover the tree in a water. And I'm like, all right, that's what I had. It's like easy 6 iron. If I go over the green, not a huge deal. All right, but it covers the water. So I set up to hit this fade. And this isn't the first time I've done this. I did this the other day practicing with Brian, and I double crossed it and hit it across the road to the left. Now, I saw it bounce. So I was like, all right, well, maybe I didn't get to the road. Maybe I'm right by the cart path right before the road, right? But I was like, I don't want to drive back. And there was nobody on the golf course. I probably could have done it, but I don't want to drive back. So I was like, I'm just going to hit another one. And of course, second ball scratch, right? I hit it to the middle of the green. Still had like 35, 40 feet. It wasn't like it was flushed. Well, I go up there. I look for it. I was like, all right, I'll check the other side of the road. And sure enough, it just dribbled across the road. So I still had my ball, which is good. I've been losing a lot of balls lately. So still had my ball. Go down there, focus a little bit. I 2-putt. So I get bogey out of that. Dropped shot. I make a bogey. So I'm like, all right, dude, I'm 1 under. I'm fine. I got 18 still. I can birdie 18 in my sleep, right? 16, 2-putt par. 17, I did scramble a little bit, ended up missing the green, just short, ended up 2-putt. No, actually, I'm sorry. I had a front pin. I flew it right over the flag, but it went down the hill to the backside. So not an easy 2-putt, but 2-putt. So through 17 holes, I'm 1 under. And I'm like, this is legit. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I go, the other day I was fortunate, shot an even par round, changed my goals. I want to be an 8 under par round. I go 18 from the blues. It's just a hybrid, probably like a 6-iron or 7-iron in, and hybrid right down the middle, little baby draw, left side of the fairway. I'm like, all right, middle pin. I'm going to play a little bit longer because I cover all the water, and usually the miss is right. I just chunked a 7-iron, and it got to the creek right in front of the green. And man, I was kicking myself. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, all right, obviously you can't see where it lands. You've been there many times. So I'm like, all right, well, maybe I'm short. Well, I get up there. I'm not short. I get into the stuff. I'm like, I could find this and hack this out. It had to have rolled in here. I find the ball.
There's monstrous snapping turtles in that stuff. What are you doing?
Yeah, but I wasn't that far in. I was just a couple steps in.
Nah, I don't care.
Found the ball.
I don't care. There's some monsters I've seen just waiting around in there.
Found the ball, and I was playing a Pro V with the alignment. So, I had those 2 extra lines by the where it says Pro V1X. And I looked down. I was like, oh my God, there's my ball. There's my ball. So I get set up. I'm like, I better check to make sure this is my ball because I only see the alignment, right? So I bend down there and I pull it up. It's not my ball.
But at least you got another ball.
So, oh yeah, I pocketed that one 100%. I pocketed that one. So I went to the other side, just maybe I bounced over, did not. So I went back, dropped it, chipped, 2-putted, made bogey, and I shot even par. So, but listen to my stats because
you're shooting even par on a round, and I'm shooting a 53 on the back 9.
So I'm playing well right now. I go in these stretches, right? So I was 71% fairways. I was 10 of 14. And I was 78% green in regulation. I was 14 of 18.
Dang.
All right. I got up and down once. I must have got up and down twice because I 3-putted for a bogey, and obviously I didn't hit the green when I lost. I had three penalty shots, and I shot even. So gives me my Hail Mary. I'm going to go out and limb. I won. I was 72 net 68.
Do we need to bring down your 74 extra point?
No, not yet. I mean,
in back-to-back weeks, you're shooting 72.
I know. Well, technically 2 weeks, but yes,
okay,
yes, technically 2 weeks. But yeah, no, I don't think that would be quite fair yet.
Maybe we need to bring it down from 74 or 75 down to 73.
It's a 75. If you really wanted to bring it down to 74, I would go with that. But so I get an extra bonus point for sub 70. Okay, sub 75. I see what you mean. 74. And a par or better round for 2 more points. So with the Hail Mary for 4 and 3 extra, that added 7. So from 10 to 1, it is now
17 to 1.
2 touchdowns and a field goal.
No, it's 1 hole in 1. And I'm winning 21-17. But you know what? This is the thing. Is like, watch, I'll get a hole in 1 and still lose that week after you saying blind Hail Mary because you shot like a 71 and still get somewhat bonus points to the point where you'll be leading like 23 to 21.
Yeah.
Can see it
I've
now.
This
guy just can't stop screwing me over.
I've been very fortunate that my first round of the week has been my hot round. I did go out later that night, played with a little guy from the Reds, and I was 3 under through 7, and I finished bogey to shoot 1 under. So, for 27 holes that day, I shot 1 under par.
Pretty solid.
Yeah. Now it's the Reds, obviously, a little bit different and everything, but, like I said, my misses just haven't been huge. Although I say that I hit 2 balls out of bounds today, but for the most part, my misses just haven't been huge. The number 8, when I 3-putted, I was 9-iron out and I caught it a little thin and I hit into the bank and I trickled onto the green, so wasn't close to the green or anything, but like I've been able to have if I'm not making that good contact, I've been able to kind of just still hit some greens. And then I'm rolling it really well. I mean, played last night with Brian again, and we played a match. And I actually went out birdied the first 2 holes. And I played really, really well. And he even made a comment, and I kind of wish he didn't, because after that comment, it kind of went downhill. But he said, "Dude, you're around the green and you're rolling it to make putts." And he goes, "When you're making that 6-7 footer for a par save or for bogey, and you're still making some birdies," he goes, "you're going to be right where you want to be." And I did end up losing the match on the 17th hole.
I think you lost
But
on
again,
17 at Fairway Fit Cup too.
yeah, I think so. But I lost. I was winning, and then I went bogey, 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 double.
Oh,
And then I parred out. So it was like I literally had 5 holes where I gave up the whole round, because it was the end of the front and the beginning of the back. So I missed. I did win the front, but ended up losing the back and losing the overall.
I know how those rounds go. I literally had two. I texted you earlier today. I had 2 pars, and literally, I think I want to say that through like 8 holes, I thought like I was doing well. I was like, you know what? I was like, through 8 holes, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm 9 over. I was like 9 over through 8. I was like, that's fine. I was like a par, basically, kind of, a couple pars here and there. I was like, it's gonna even itself out to where if I can shoot in the 80s, like I give myself a chance to try and beat Brad. I was like, I'm playing bogey golf like that, and then the back 9 came, and I was just like, it was almost like you were in my ear saying. And like literally, like I was just like, all right, you know what? Every single hole is a driver. Every single approach shot needs to be not just to like. And I was aiming middle greens and whatnot, but it was like, okay, I was missing middle of greens, and I was missing on the wrong side of the pins, to the point where I had like 35, 40 putts or 40-foot putts. And the thing is I will say this: like I still roll it extremely well. I'm still putting well, even though I had 30 putts today. I had or 30, 33 or so. But I mean,
33 is not bad. Like I
mean,
always say I want to be under 33. So I mean, 32 and below.
Even when I played in Florida, like didn't shoot great, had great holes and whatnot. Like I mean, I still had I believe I had like a birdie or two, and like I had multiple birdie looks, and I was just like slightly missing putts and whatnot. And even the guy that I played with, that I told you reminded me of you. He was like, towards the end of our round, he's every single time I made a putt, he's like, dude, the guy can roll it. He was like, I don't understand how you're not scoring so much better. He was like, you can roll the ball like better than.
Yeah, I mean we've said that, and we Brian and I talked about it again. You're too athletic to be where you are, but you'll get it. Like I said, I think you need some relaxing rounds where it's just brings the fun part of in, and maybe like have like a 6-6-6 with some guys where we're just playing, a little bit of match play, keep it competitive, but not as much as the scoring. I gotta go low, gotta go low, gotta go low.
Sunday, I have my annual fun round with the ex students. Me and one of my students versus 2 other students. We play in an annual 2-man scramble. So we'll see how that works out. We're returning champions, but we are still down 2-1 because it's been going. This is the 4th year of it. So
awesome. Well, that should get you going in the right direction then, because it is
that Pleasant Valley too. So I mean, I can score well there.
Got about 3 weeks left, so I'm going to probably be guessing that I'm going to get a couple blind Hail Marys,
more than likely,
coming up, but we'll let you decide then. So, but let's get a little bit away from the summer season, and we got one more thing we want to talk about. We always talked about, in high school, golf became part of our lives a little bit here and there and this and that. And, obviously back in 1996, a pretty popular guy put out a golf movie, Happy Gilmore.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
No, Happy Gilmore.
Kidding,
Happy Gilmore. I know. Happy Gilmore. And at that time, that type of comedy was in, right? I mean, he was just killing it. And, we've had to wait 29 years. And obviously last weekend, which pretty much everybody in the world knows because it was one of the number one movies to come out in its first weekend on Netflix with something like
And
49.
it was one of the things that we wanted to do roughly about 9 months ago was to skip day one of back to school for teachers, drive up to New Jersey and be an extra in the movie. And
Yes.
unfortunately, both of us decided that our jobs were a little bit more important than
Yeah.
being an
Yeah.
extra in Happy Gilmore 2, and we skipped that trip.
Yeah. So we want to get our thoughts and opinions about Happy Gilmore too. So I have watched it 4 times now.
I've watched it
It
twice.
we watched it on Saturday. We did not watch it on Friday. We watched it on Saturday night, and we actually went and got Subway, and we brought Subway back,
Did you get
and
a
we
cold cut combo?
I did not get a cold cut. I don't
Come
even know if they have that
on.
anymore.
Yes, the cold cut combo is timeless.
I don't know. The menu is
The
very different now.
meaty, beefy, cheesy, cold cut
But
combo
well,
keeps me.
I eat 3 of these a day. But yeah, so and we have all the cups. We have multiple of the cups because we've been collecting over the
Well,
last
when you
couple weeks.
got like 6 kids, you're gonna get every single one of them.
Yeah, and then the lady was like, I have this. I think it's like I have the red one in the back, and we're like, you have Happy because like Happy's been sold out everywhere. So we got them all now. We're hooked in.
Nice.
I will tell you, I did not hear my son laugh harder in his whole life than at some of the moments in the movie. So, let's go at it. Got a couple questions. First reaction, gut reaction to the movie. We waited 29 years from it. Was it satisfying? Was it disappointing? Were you surprised? What was your gut reaction?
Everything I wanted out of the movie. Everything I wanted occurred in the movie, and the only thing that like kind of threw me for a loop was just Virginia Bennett getting killed off right in the beginning. Like,
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh.
that's the only
By a ball.
that's the only thing where I was like, I was kind of like, I was hoping like maybe she'd be turning. Like, I think like in my thought process, like Virginia Bennett was gonna kind of turn towards Happy as far as like where she might be in the stands and people might
Yeah.
talk trash about Happy and she'd be like punching, pulling the shirt over the head and punching people. But her getting killed off was probably the biggest toss up where I was like, whoa, we are 3 minutes into the movie. Like, what happened?
100% her getting killed was huge. Now, the other part about Virginia that surprised me that it's Virginia Bennett.
Yes, Bennett. It's VV.
With a V.
Yes.
Which I thought it was a B.
Oh.
But if you go back to all of his movies at that time in the 90s, all his girlfriends were VV.
Really? Did not
Vicky,
know. Vicky Valancourt.
Vicky Valancourt. There was a couple others. I actually saw a reel on this. It wasn't my
information. She showed me her boobies, and I like them too.
But yeah, that was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe they just did that. But yeah, that had to have been the most surprise to me. I too was 100% satisfied. I thought the movie was great. I did hear a really good line about the movie that it was basically 150 TikTok videos put together for one video, for one movie. And I was like, yeah, I guess I could see that, but I still think his comedy and his humor.
One thing like I loved about it was like I saw that there was 74, 75 cameos.
75, yep.
And the fact that like everyone it seemed wanted to be a part of this movie, like from generation to generation, like not just like his normal, like Adam Sandler puts the same people
he's
in
got that
every
crew.
he's got the crew that puts him in every single movie, and you had those guys, and it had shout outs to like all of his other movies. It had shout outs to like the guy with the crazy eyes from all of his movies, and you know the water boy type stuff. Like,
well, there was a lot of like family members of cast members as well too.
Well,
not only
Adam Sandler's whole, his wife was the ballet teacher.
His wife was in it. It had a shout out to the young man that just passed away not too recently, but a lot of any of them that were not there obviously had shout outs to, and that was really cool. What was one scene or moment that like completely stands out to you?
This is going to sound really weird, but when he's playing the final round on Mother's Day and he gets
Okay.
drunk, and Bad Bunny, his caddy,
Yep.
who's is
He
is
was hilarious in the movie.
is holding the thing dangling down in front of him as he's peeing. I don't know why, but I legitimately laughed out loud. I was watching this late night when everybody was asleep
Yeah.
at the house, and I was laughing out loud. I don't know why that was so hysterical to me. The fact that like just the perfect placement of
Yeah. No,
the
that was
Happy
funny.
Gilmore driver head cover was just
Yep.
perfect. But that one stood out to me. I think it was hysterical when like Rory McIlroy, like all of like the professional
Yeah. Oh,
golfers that like basically were like, oh my God, like I loved watching you. It's such an honor to play
JT.
with you.
Yeah.
Like all those guys, and like JT laughing when
Yep.
he's like he's strangling Will Zataris again
Yep.
after he
Dude,
wins.
I
Like,
thought the caddy bringing Will in there, Zalataris in on that was
oh
absolutely
yes,
hilarious.
yes.
That the pip and the way he played his role as, yeah, that was me. And I still am upset with you choking me. I thought that was awesome. The one moment that I had that was kind of like the urinating scene that was like surprised and not a character is he was about to play that last hole and the way he threw the tee down,
Oh yes.
dropped the ball, and the ball bounced. I don't. My little guy has probably tried to do that 100 times
No
since
surgery
then.
for that kid.
When we,
And he was playing Stuart Little.
yes,
He's playing against Stuart Little with a ligament detached from his hip.
yeah, that was that whole concept of the maxi was a little weird, but it definitely fit the movie really well. Who made the best cameo appearance? Who took on a role that you'll remember in that movie? The one of the best roles, I
Most
should say.
memorable. Um, I almost want to say,
Or could be a surprise. Could be a surprise because obviously we see them differently on the PGA Tour or whatever you may be, but maybe that was a surprise the way they acted in the movie.
Kelsey.
Oh, really? I thought that would have been him
I
all the
mean, but
way.
like at the same time, like just like him deciding that, like, okay, like I don't want to even be a cameo. I just want to be the waiter. Like,
I
I
got
just
you. Okay.
like the fact that I mean he's hysterical in all
Yeah.
get out, but like I think Kelsey was pretty funny. I think John Daly was hysterical
Oh
throughout the
gosh, Big
entire
John.
time. Like I mean he basically played himself. I mean I
Yes.
could see John Daly just having yeah, this is hand sanitizer. Mm.
Yeah.
Like, like I can see that happening naturally. Like, I mean, I will say that I can't pick one. I can't pick one. Like,
Yeah, there was
it's
I
one
think
of those
Scotty
things. Yeah, Scotty was good.
Scotty was good. Scotty could get an Oscar for his role. I mean, and it's just again, you have them in sort of what you think they are and who they are off the course, but he really showed a lot of personality in that. I would say like
Bryson
out of all the,
DeChambeau saying, "Don't touch my man's titties." Those are
but
my titties.
I thought he would have had a bigger role. I did think
I
I
mean,
just thought
yeah.
you would have got a little bit more from him
Well, I mean,
just
they
because of
afterwards they did do the break 50, and
I know,
they
and
shot
they
50.
shot 50, yeah, and yeah, I know. I just for some reason I thought he'd have a little bit bigger role, and then when he pulled that line about the titties, I was like, whoa, because they don't like it. I mean, I don't think they really are
Yeah,
big fans of each
yeah, I don't
other.
think they were big fans of each other, but the fact that
Um,
like they got him to do that bit, I mean,
yeah,
I think the fact that like the real golfers like basically by being kind of paid tribute to how much
yes,
this movie has brought
part of
to
their
like
lives. Yeah,
golf, brought attention to golf, if you will. Like, I mean, like I think that's awesome.
yeah. No, I definitely and I mean even like Marakawa, Xander Schauffele, like, and then you had Nicholas and Trevino and Freddie Cup. Like you just had, I mean, there were legends in that
Can you give me
movie.
half pink lemonade and or half lemonade and half? You mean Arnold Palmer? No, I just mean lemonade.
No, no, Jack Nicholas. I know, but I get that all the time. No, there was a lot of good ones in there. That was pretty good. The only thing I thought that the movie could have done, and I just did this because I referenced it a couple weeks ago, is I thought before he played for the gold jacket, he could have played in the Waterbury Open one more time to qualify straight to the PGA Tour
That would have
like
been
he
solid.
did 29 years ago. And that was because when my little guy played in his tournament a few weeks ago, my wife even brought up, that feels like it's the Waterbury Open here for a bunch of middle school kids and elementary kids. But that was the only thing that I was hoping to see. But man, it was good. It was, I mean, we want to watch it every night almost. I almost had to take one night off, but been a lot of fun watching. It definitely lived up to it. I definitely think the original fans will appreciate it. I do think if you didn't like the first one, you probably won't like this one.
Yeah.
Did it get corny at times?
Of course.
It did, but I don't think if it didn't have some of the corniness, it wouldn't have been the same.
I'm actually surprised like Bryson DeChambeau was big in it, and like the fact that they were kind of just poking fun at his
Live.
Tour.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
but all of them, like Bubba was in there, and then he wanted to wear shorts.
Yeah.
Like, it was just a lot of little things, and it was good. I thought it was really,
one
really
surprising factor, and I don't know how they didn't get him in it, or if he didn't want to be in it.
Tiger.
Yeah. I'm with like they gave him a shout out with the statues, and then when he said like basically, hey, you're the best golfer in the '90s besides me, Tiger, and like but basically like I'm shocked that like they didn't at least have like one spot where he could have fit it.
So there were rumors that Tiger was going to be Chubbs' son. But I did read an article that said when they actually originally filmed a big chunk of this, Carl Weathers was actually in the movie. And then Carl obviously, passed away January, February of this year. And so I think they had to redo a lot of parts. And that was a little bit of the delay of why, because remember, it's been said it was coming out almost a year and a half ago now. And I think they had to change some parts up. But yeah, Big Bunny was
Bad Bunny.
Hilarious. Bad Bunny, I'm sorry. I thought he did a phenomenal job. He was a very key part of the movie.
For sure.
Did a great job there. But yeah, so I don't know, it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, please do. If you have not seen ours videos on YouTube, please check them out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, comment.
One last question.
Yeah.
How would you feel about like the UTVs on golf courses?
It was incredible.
I think that would be awesome. If you could fly down the fairway at like 45, imagine how quickly you could play.
Yeah. I've seen actually a golf course. I saw a reel about a golf course that had one person golf carts. It was single seaters. So it actually looked a little more, not like that side by side type thing that they were doing, the razors and everything. But no, that, the course got a little comical. It was a little Caddyshack 2-ish on the course.
I will say probably the drunken cart fails would probably be a higher thing if you were trapped.
Especially going 60 down the golf courses would need a little bit more maintenance. That cart fee might go up a little bit.
A little bit.
$2,500 for that cart fee. So, but yeah, like I said though, please check us out. Like, subscribe, follow us on anywhere you listen to your podcast. Watch us on YouTube. Leave us a comment. We're looking forward to it. We got a lot of big things coming up in our next episode. We're going to talk a little bit, hopefully, about major number 3. Looking to knock that out next week. We're also going to
get back on the winning streak.
Talk about some people who are looking to support us, and talk about some things we got going on that are hopefully going to happen here in the future. But for now, just like always, check us out on the 9th Green at 9 and dress nice.